Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
At Central College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
Nothing feels quite as free as being out here.
Except this free soda.
Where'd you get free soda?
At Casey's, you can win all kinds of free stuff.
I love free.
Then you'll love this. Bought this jerky, won this free donut.
I love donuts.
And these chips can win me the big one.
What?
A free concert from country music superstar Lee Brice.
I love free Lee Brice.
With Casey's Summer of Freedom sweepstakes, the more you buy, the more you can win, including a free Lee Brice concert for your town.
Free Lee!
No.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
You shed a light that guides me home. I got it. You're my favorite.
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face. SWIC feels like a community, like family, like home.
SWIC is a place for you.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
It's a great day for softball here in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Good evening and welcome in to the Iowa Central Field at Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex, the home of the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. I'm Eric Zamora, and in just a moment, we'll have the semifinal matchup on the Class 4A side between Boone and Winterset. And as we take a look at the two teams coming in, we'll start with the visitors, the Boone Toreadors, the 5 seed in Class 4A. They come in with a record of 27-8, and they will take on the number 1 seed Winterset Huskies with a record of 35-7. The Huskies were victorious over Oskaloosa by a score of 7-4 on Monday. And just yesterday, they defeated Creston 5-2 in the region tournament, and then Harlan in the regional final by a score of 10-0. Meanwhile, Boone in their regional tournament knocked off Sergeant Bluff Luton by a score of 12-0, and then they defeated Carlisle on Tuesday right here at 1:30 on this Iowa Central Field by a score of 5-0. We'll take a quicker look at everything when we come back. Again, Class 4A semifinal action up next. It's Boone and Winterset here on the its coverage of the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Nothing feels quite as free as being out here.
Except this free soda.
Where'd you get free soda?
At Casey's, you can win all kinds of free stuff.
I love free.
Then you'll love this. Bought this jerky, won this free donut.
I love donuts.
And these chips can win me the big one.
What?
A free concert from country music superstar Lee Brice.
I love free Lee Brice.
With Casey's Summer of Freedom sweepstakes, the more you buy, the more you can win, including a free Lee Brice concert for your town.
Free Lee!
No.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything.
Dental insurance costs a fortune and it covers nothing.
Don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Welcome back here with you live at the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, as we are in our pregame of this Class 4A matchup. A little bit of an upset in the road to get here, with Boone being the 5 seed, Carlisle being the 4 seed, and Boone advancing by a score of 5-0. But in those 4-5 matchups, it can be really difficult with not a lot of common opponents for a true favorite to be figured out. Obviously, the advantage there for Carlisle was that they got to act as the home team and bat last, but in a 5-0 game, that doesn't end up being much of a factor. Here, the Winterset Huskies were the #1 seed, and they showed why with a 7-4 victory over Oskaloosa. Let's go ahead and recap the entirety of the roads here, as Boone was victorious over Sergeant Bluff Luton 12-0, and then that 5-0 victory here in Fort Dodge over Carlisle. And as for the home team, the Winterset Huskies, they knocked off Creston 5-2 and Harlan 10-0 in the regional tournament before that victory over the Oskaloosa Indians by a final of 7-4. So the Huskies will be your home squad for Boone, the Toreadors, or as written across their chest, just the Doors. That's D-O-R-S, not the Jim Morrison Band spelling. They will be in white jerseys with green lettering and green pinstripes, white socks with green stirrups, and green numerals. Fortunately, not much of an issue when you have two different teams wearing white, but the Huskies will wear white jerseys with black writing outlined in gold, black numerals outlined in gold, black pants, and white socks. We will go ahead and pause here for an opportunity to listen to the PA announcer for the announcement of both teams and their starting lineups.
And now, let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the visitors from Boone. Number 3, Gracie Baker. Number 4, Maggie Cornellis. Number 12, Kelsey Scott. Number 15, Audrey Castle. Number 17, Gracie Hammer. Number 19, Kelsey Mormon. Number 21, Rory Cook. Number 22, Jenna Roach. Number 23, Kylie Mackey. And number 24, Gracie Rosengreen. The assistant coaches for the Toreadors, Laura Anderson, J.C. Sander, and Diana White. And now let's meet the starters for Boone. Leading off, shortstop, number 5, Emily Hayes. Batting second, the catcher, number 13, Zoe IGHSAU. Batting third, the pitcher, number 16, Emma Dighton. Batting fourth, playing third base, number 18, Lena Salverson. Batting fifth, left fielder, number 14, Victoria Lewis. Batting sixth, the VP, number 7, Kennedy Lewis. Batting seventh, first baseman, number 20, Alex McDonough. Batting eighth, second baseman, number 1, Aaron Cade. Batting ninth, center fielder, number 2, Natalie Danner. And the flex player this afternoon, the right fielder, number 10, Megan Ryder. Head coach for Boone is Erica White. And now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the home team, Winterset. Number 1, Ashlyn Devine. Number 7, Hallie Hoping. Number 11, Halen Forsythe. Number 13, McKenna Sheffield. Number 15, Allison Starberg. Number 18, Bryn Acton. Number 21, Isabella Taylor. Number 24, Summer Little. Number 25, Molly Breeding. Number 28, Jaya Klemeyer. Number 31, Carly Akers. Number 32, Zoe Breeding. number 33, Lily Applegate. And number 48, Maya Adkins. The assistant coaches for the Huskies, Jen Devine, Carly Olson, and Taylor Benshu. And now let's meet the starters from Winterset. Leading off, shortstop, number 4, Jenna Young. Batting second, center fielder, number 19, Riley Keough. Batting third, first baseman, number 5, Ava Loudon. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 22, Bridget Stover. Batting fifth, third baseman, number 14, Bailey Ashton. Batting sixth, second baseman, number 36, Neela Applegate. Batting seventh, the DP, number 12, Natalie Drake. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 2, Avery Darling. Batting ninth, the pitcher, number 9, Thea Banning. And the flat player for the Huskies, playing left field, number 6, Abby Benshu. Head coach for Winterset is Steve Corcoran. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you direct your attention to home plate for the introduction of our umpires for this afternoon's game assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. At first base, Greg Busser. At third base, Roger Menke. And behind the plate, calling balls and strikes, Stan Schmidt. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for state semifinal.
And welcome back in again. My name is Eric Zamora, bringing you the play-by-play. Dave Mabel, our engineer and producer for this Class 4A semifinal matchup. Hannah Allen, our camera operator, over on the third base dugout. The Winterset Huskies, with a record of 35-7, are the 1 seed, so they will head out into the field first. And their lineup looks something like this. For Winterset, pitching will be Thea Banning. She'll be caught by Bridget Stover. Ava Loudon at first base with Neela Applegate at second. The shortstop is Jenna Young. Third base is Bailey Acton. Left field, Abby Benshad with the center fielder, Riley Keough. And in right, Avery Darling. The one player for Winterset in the lineup but not out in the field is Natalie Drake. She will be their designated player. For the Boone Toreadors, they will lead off with Emily Aids at shortstop. Zoe IGHSAU will bat second, the catcher, and then Emma Dighton, the pitcher, will be the third batter for Boone. Again, both of these teams wearing white. Boone with the green numerals, green pinstripes. There's a pop up to the catcher, and it will be squeezed for an out as Winterset gets the put out. Bridget Stover will be credited with that out. So 1 pitch, 1 out, just like the Huskies drew it up. And Aids retired. Zoe IGHSAU gets a strike to start things off. Winterset will start things off with Banning on the mound. Banning, a junior, came into tournament action with a 1.69 ERA. 36 appearances and 219 innings pitched, 217 strikeouts, and a record of 32-1 with a save. There's a base hit up the middle by IGHSAU, and she will give her squad an opportunity to try to put a crooked number up right out of the gates. For Banning, she will look to try to calm things down and get right back at it. Banning wears 9. And we already have an IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMTINS.com. So IGHSAU is the catcher, and they allow her the opportunity to be pinch run for and take some time in the dugout to get the equipment back on. So running in her place, Audrey Castle at first. Dighton just hits that one foul, didn't miss by much. And she will get another opportunity here. Dighton batting .602 prior to Tuesday's action. 56 hits in 93 at-bats. A lot of times, even at this level, you'll see some of the pitchers, not some of their strongest hitters. In fact, sometimes they'll want to use that designated player like a designated hitter in Major League Baseball. Dighton, as that one is outside, is more of the Shohei Ohtani mold, wanting to get things done. Look, there's nothing better as a pitcher than not only going out and tossing some strong innings, but then getting yourself some run support. That one is chopped, but again, on the wrong side of the third base line, so it is foul, and we will get set back and do it again. One runner out, one runner on, and a 1-2 count to Dighton. Lena Solverson is waiting in the on-deck circle. Low, and that gets away from the catcher for a moment. There will be a throw, but not in time. So Castle running for IGHSAU will get in to second. I believe they'll rule that a wild pitch and not a pass ball, but either way. Now in scoring position is Castle, and they will elect to intentionally walk Dighton, as at least for a moment there, they had a force at second. Now that that is gone by the wayside, the Huskies will elect to just give her the free pass. Bridget Stover again is the catcher for the Huskies. And outside, we've got a 1-1 count. 1-1 pitch, fouled back and handled there by the catcher after hitting off the backstop to protect the fans behind home plate. 1-2 the count. Upstairs is the pitch. It'll even things up at 2-2. 2 runners on, 1 out, 2-2 count. This is fouled again and will keep the at-bat alive. The Boone dugout more and more excited as this at-bat stays alive and the tension begins to mount. Called strike 3 at the knees on the inside corner, and the third baseman Solverson a little dejected by that one as she heads back to the dugout. Victoria Lewis, the left fielder, comes up to bat next. Lewis, a senior, .372 batting average in the regular season and regional play. Getting some kudos from Stover, the catcher, is Banning, as she absolutely paints the corner of the strike zone with that pitch. Another called strike. So now, after a couple runners let on, the Banning is just a strike away from getting out of this half inning unscathed. The 0-2 pitch upstairs. Patient was Lewis at the dish. As you could see, for just a split second, the bats start to move, but she wanted to lay off that one. This is slapped down, and it was ripped right at her third base coach, who ducks out of the way with a smile. 1-2, the count remains. There's a low pitch called strike 3. In disbelief is Lewis, but it will strand 2. No runs on 1 hit, 2 left on, and we will come with the home half of the first inning as we come back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
At Central College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
And welcome back here with you live, the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, as we are in the bottom half of the first inning. And fans, a reminder that Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever. Scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. For Winterset, Jenna Young, the shortstop, wears number 4. Will start things off for the Boone Toreadors. They have on the mound Emma Dighton. Dighton wears 16. She was intentionally walked in the first inning, and not that I would ever second guess anything, but that seems to have worked out well. This is popped up underneath it and squeezed by Boone's shortstop. That is Emily Aids, wears number 5 and has the first putout of the bottom half of the inning. Dighton does as much damage from the circle as she does from the dish. This is hit into left field, and it will drop. It will curl, and an opportunity perhaps for a double, but instead, Kios will hold up at first, and she will gladly take that single. So Riley Kios with the single. The first baseman, Ava Loudon, now comes to the plate. Dighton wastes no time. A bunt, and there's nobody there at first. So a shrug of the shoulders from Emma Dighton, but with Alex McDonough, the first baseman, charging in case that bunt had come her way. It ends up being a bunt single, and for Loudon, she is on board with Bridget Stover, the catcher, now at the dish. Wears 22, takes a swing, and big cut there, but missing on that first offering is Stover, a junior, batting just a hair under 400 on the year, 392 coming into tournament action. That's state tournament, that's through regionals. That one's fouled back and quickly finds herself down in the count, 0-2. The middle infield are the aides, Emily at short, Aaron at second. I imagine there's a relation, but I'm not 100% sure. There's a soft one hit and fielded by the first baseman. That will be a play she's able to make on her own, and it registers the second out. Kios will head to second, Kios to third. Loudon to second, and Stover will not reach, as that was scooped up by Boone's Alex McDonough. She steps on first, and a big second out of the inning. A called strike low in the zone to Bailey Acton. Poked out to right field, underneath it, and coming up with the catch is Boone's flex player. That's Megan Ryder. The inning comes to an end with no score on either side for Winterset. No runs on 2 hits, 2 left on. We'll be back with the second inning as you are watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
Welcome back here with you live at the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, as we start the second inning. The Boone Toreadors with a hit in the top half of the first. The Winterset Huskies with 2, but neither side could bring across a run. This one will be fouled back. First pitch of the second inning, and giving it a rip for Boone was Kennedy Lewis. Lewis is the designated player for Boone. And smokes one over the shortstop as Jenna Young gave it a leap but had no opportunity to bring that one back down to the earth, as that one will fall into left center field. And on first is Lewis. Alex McDonough, the first baseman, steps up next with Aaron Aids due up in the inning as well. So for Boone, they got their lone hit of the game thus far from their catcher, Heitschu. Emma Dighton, the pitcher, was intentionally walked, but both were stranded, as were the 2 base runners for Winterset. That was Kios and Loudon, who both reached via singles, back-to-back singles for the Huskies. Just out of the strike zone, the Winterset side to our left, hoping that one would fall in, but not quite, says our home plate umpire, Stan Schmidt. And that one also off the mark, 3-1. Greg Busser is our first base umpire. Roger Menke, the official at third, although he stands closer to second right now. And there's ball 4. It gets away from Stover And Lewis will get the free pass to second. McDonough issued the base on balls, will travel down to first, and Aaron Aids will come up. Aids on the year, a .245 hitter, a freshman, and plays second base in this contest. We do have a final to bring for you here when we have a moment, as that one is fouled back. Davenport Assumption in Class 3A advances to the championship game. They knocked off Atlantic by a score of 12-0. And that one in just 4 innings. Remember that Atlantic needed 11 innings to defeat Anamosa by a score of 10-9 in the quarterfinals. For Atlantic, they will move on to the third place game Friday at 1 p.m. right here at the Iowa Central Field. They'll take on either Mount Vernon or Williamsburg, who play at 5 over on Kruger Seeds Field. Inside pitch, but it's a called strike. And that is a big out in the inning, as it is the first. Natalie Danner comes to the plate. She looks at Lewis at second, McDonough at first. This one is popped up to the right side, and it will drop in over the head of Applegate, the second baseman. They quickly get it into second. The runners had to be wary there. And it will be a bloop single for Danner. And perhaps the best part of this rally, as McDonough advances to second, she was the one that they nearly had an opportunity to still get. Lewis into third, is that with 1 out, it's the top of the order coming up. Emily Aids, the shortstop, now at the plate. Takes a look at ball 1 in the dirt, scooped up by Stover, and she had to be quick there, as that one had the potential to get to the backstop. This one is fouled back up and over play. So into the fans, but again, it won't be a souvenir for a lucky fan. They ask here at the IGHSAU that any foul balls caught returned back to the nearest dugout. There's one hit sharply up the shortstop. They'll have a play at home, and they get the force out. And then do they get the out at third? They do! What a great play defensively. 6-2-5. It's a double play to end the inning and end the threat. No score after 1.5 on the inning. No runs on 2 hits. And we will move on to the bottom of the second. No score here between Winterset and Boone. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back here with you live at the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, as we get started and set for the bottom half of the second inning. This one is up the elevator shaft in foul territory. No problem for Alex McDonough, as the first baseman squeezes that one into her glove and registers out number 1. Going back to that play that ended the top half of the inning, What a fantastic play, and a heads-up play by Jenna Young. She saw that she could get the lead out and keep the Toreadors off the scoreboard, so she did. From there, it looked like, okay, maybe they had a chance at a traditional 6-4-3 double play, but when you go home, you're in essence saying we're willing to surrender that it's only going to be a one-out play. We just want to make sure that we don't give up a run. You see that more often late in a game when the innings are starting to evaporate and there are less chances for teams to make up those runs. So later on, you're willing to trade maybe an out for a run, either offensively or defensively. But early in the game, they can tell that this one is going to be a duel between a couple of aces in the circle. So it looked like from there, that's all it was going to be. Young to Stover for the force out. You don't make that play unless it's a force out, as this is chopped into right field, and it will be an inside-out swing that produces a base hit for Natalie Drake. Quickly getting that back into play is number 10, Megan Ryder. I'll be honest, I had the game before this, wasn't 100% sure on the pronunciation of that as I didn't have an opportunity to run over. I heard the PA announcer say Ryder, although I'll be honest, I would have put that as Reuter. There, we'll throw to second. Safe, not in time, as Boone tries to get the lead runner. And so now first and second. And we have just one out in the inning as Avery Darling lays down the bunt. They're still figuring out how to score that one. There's a bunt. No. This one is called off by the umpire. What's the call? Was she the box? Yes. Outside of the box. And she is out. So now the runners both need to go back, and we have two down in the inning. So it's contact with the ball outside of the box for Banning. And it will bring up, Darling, and Banning now at the dish. And there's a swing and a miss, strike one. One out. There's a ground ball. They'll throw and get the lead runner at third. And there's where I was off, as retired is Applegate. There was nobody out on that first one. Staying into bat was Banning. She will reach on a fielder's choice. The 6-5 put out puts Banning at first. It gets the lead runner. And now standing at second is Drake. In the batter's box is Jenna Young. Runners on first and second. Smoke down the right field line, but well foul. So 0-1 the count. And this will bring up a bases-loaded situation for Riley Kios. For Winterset, their junior, Kios, takes a look At ball one, Kios with a single reached third back in the first inning. We've had a lot of activity on the base paths, considering we still have yet to have a run. That's a shot to the shortstop, and she can't fire over to second. So standing at third is Kleemeyer. That will be an error and an RBI for Kios. Ava Loudon now comes to bat for the Huskies. She had a single in the first, got as far as second base into scoring position, but was stranded there. As Winterset draws first blood on the score sheet, they lead 1-0, but they would like to keep that energy rolling as they have built themselves an opportunity here to really break this game wide open early on in the contest. Swing and a miss as she was underneath that pitch, floated a little bit at the last moment, or kind of hung in the air when she was expecting it to come down. 1-1 the count. Full are the bases. 2 outs in the inning. Chop to the shortstop, and she will step on the bag. That will be 6 unassisted with the final out, but Winterset does get on the scoreboard, and after 2, they lead by a score of 1-0. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
In this Class 4A semifinal, we welcome you back in on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Top of the third, and the number 1 seed Winterset Huskies with a record of 35-7 out in the field. And Banning, the junior, on the mound. She has given up 2 hits and stranded 2 in each inning. But to this point, the Boone Toreadors have yet to muster a run. This is popped up and into the glove of Neela Applegate. Applegate will squeeze for out number 1 here in our third inning. So Zoe IGHSAU goes down on 1 pitch. And here comes Emma Dighton. She was intentionally walked halfway in to her first appearance. They'll miss outside as Dighton took a look at ball 2, and that ball got away from the catcher. It allowed Castle, running for IGHSAU, to head to second. They intentionally walked her after that. Ava Loudon comes up with another pop-up to the right side of the infield as Dighton goes down on 2 pitches. And here's Lena Sulverson. She struck out looking, was one of 2 strikeout victims in the first inning. And she takes a look and a swing at strike 1. Stover unable to hold on to that one, but being the first strike of the at-bat, not really a factor at all. Upstairs is the second pitch, 1-1 the count. Solverson now with a count of 2-1 inside, and she'll have a hitter's count of 3-1 with Victoria Lewis, the left fielder, due up if she can keep the inning alive. Winterset with a 1-0 lead, 3-1 the count. Ball 4, and Solverson heads down to first on a 5-pitch walk. Victoria Lewis also struck out, looking her first time up, looking for a better result this time. There's a sharply hit ball, but foul. Couldn't correct that angle enough to keep it in play. This is hit and will fall in front of the left fielder, Abby Benschoof. So it will be a single, and once again, Boone has been able to muster multiple runners. They had runners at first and second in the first. They had the bases loaded with just one out in the second, and thanks to a couple of strikeouts in the first and a double play in the second, Winterset was able to get around those jams. Here another opportunity with multiple players on, and Boone still looking for their first run of the contest. Kennedy Lewis, who had a single to lead off the second inning, but ended up being forced out at home, so no fault of her own. It wasn't an aggressive base running error, but rather ball hit on the ground to the shortstop, and Jenna Young electing to go after the lead runner. The sophomore wisely did so, and it turned into a 6-2-5 double play. You know, just like they draw up. A called strike on Kennedy Lewis inside, as she was looking for that to possibly go to a 3-0 count. This one is hit well to left field, and it is caught to end the threat and the inning. As once again, Boone strands multiple. They get no runs on 1 hit, 2 left on. They have no runs on 4 hits and have left 6 on through 3 innings. We'll be back with the bottom half of the third. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Fans, official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. That's IGHSAU.org, the official website of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Popped up on the first pitch, Dighton offers, and that is into Emily Ade's glove, the shortstop. And Stover goes down on the first pitch. Bailey Acton, the third baseman for the Winterset Huskies. And going back, need to credit Abby Benschoof, the senior left fielder, was the one who gave that fly out to left a run, tracked it down, and came up with a big out for her Huskies. Swing and a miss on a pitch off the plate, outside the offering to Acton, and the third baseman quickly finds herself down in the count, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Acton goes down, can't catch up to that one. And believe it or not, that's the first strikeout of the game for Dighton. But we had a situation earlier where she didn't want a strikeout. She wanted exactly what they got, which was a double play with the bases loaded to end action. And I take that back. That was going the other way. That was Young to Stover and Acton. So with Dighton on the mound, being caught by Zoe IGHSAU, Neela Applegate comes up for the second time. And I'm ashamed to admit, flinched at that one. I've been getting good about it, but when it starts screaming right at your Adam's apple, you're a little inclined to instinctively turn away. 1-1 the count after that foul by Applegate. Natalie Drake is due up next in the order if she can keep the inning alive. There's a strike of the knees. Applegate is the is the second baseman. I was going to say Drake coming up next is your designated player for the Huskies. Popped up, inside out swing, and I think that was in foul territory. It won't matter. It ends up in the glove of Alex McDonough. So a 1-2-3 inning, obviously no runs on no hits and nobody left on, but Winterset leads 1-0 after 3 are complete. We'll come back with your fourth inning as you are watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you.
Welcome back here as we are live on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy. Top half of the fourth inning just about to get underway. There's the opening pitch. It's inside and off the mark for a ball for the Boone Toreadors. They have Alex McDonough, who ended the last inning with that pop-up to her at first base. Gives that a ride to the other first baseman. And on a one-hop, gathered by Ava Loudon, but foul. And so it will even the count at 1 apiece. McDonough will be followed by Erin Aids and Natalie Danner, unless we have an IMT insurance substitution. And Loudon runs on to that one and catches it on the fly for out number 1. So here comes the aforementioned Erin Aids. She struck out looking, her only appearance thus far at the plate. That was back in the second inning. Just low for ball 1. And the center fielder, Danner, is in the on-deck circle. There's a strike. And Aids has watched 2. Bat hasn't really come off her shoulders even slightly. And it's a 1-1 count. Poked out to right field, giving it a chase, and catching up with it just in foul territory was Avery Darling, the sophomore. Registers out number 2, and the Winterset Huskies trying to make it a 1-2-3. Natalie Danner, the center fielder, is the only thing preventing the Huskies from getting to that, and I would say it would be a big, monumental play if they can get it. Here's Applegate will flip it over, and it is a 1-2-3 inning. For the first time, Not only do they go 1, 2, 3, but it's the first time that the Boone squad doesn't leave multiple players in on the bases. We'll come back for the home half of the fourth inning. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face. SWIC feels like a community, like family, like home.
SWIC is a place for you.
Welcome back here with you live at the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, as we are underway in the home half of the fourth inning, and we will start things off with a great run by Emily Aids, the shortstop, getting into short left field and tracking that one down. By the way, folks, that one was about to land in fair territory, but it ends up being the first out of the home half of the fourth. Avery Darling will now come to the plate for Winterset. Darling wearing numeral 2. She is the right fielder, and that one will end up foul, so we will go back and do it again. So 0-1 the count. Darling looks in. Dighton winds and delivers. This is popped up, and the shortstop and second baseman will talk it over. It's Emily Aids at short, who elects to register the out, with Aaron at second backing her up, and quickly 2 down in the inning. Thea Banning, the pitcher, with her squad on top by a score of 1-0, would love to start a rally here and give herself and her squad some run support as they look to move on in the 4A into the 4A championship. Western Dubuque is the 2 seed in Class 4A. ADM the 3 seed. Those two teams will battle after this one on the Iowa Central field, slated for 5:30. I have a feeling that one will not start on time. There's a ground ball to the shortstop, fires over to first in time, and it is a 1-2-3 inning. So obviously no runs, no hits, out number 2. And so here we go with the top of the order. And Banning fouls that back. So 0-1 in the count. Winterset, 1 run on 3 hits. Boone, no runs on 4 hits. They've committed the only error of the contest. Poked at to right field. Underneath it, and glove there by Reuter. That will be out number 3. And now we will go to the top of the 5th. 1 run on 3 hits, 5 left on base for Winterset through 4. Boone has no runs on 4 hits and 6 left on. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
Hey fans, as a reminder, Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means that the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. We welcome you back here with you live on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Iowa Central Field is the home. It's the top of the fifth. And the Boone Toreadors to bat. They will have the top of the order up with Emily Aids, the shortstop, leading things off for Boone. Thea Banning, the junior, starts things off with a strike. IGHSAU and Dighton will be up next for the Toreadors. Again, in their white jerseys, green numerals, green pinstripes, both tops and pants. White socks with green stirrups. And quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 is Banning. This is popped up, and the third baseman will run underneath it. Bailey Acton squeezes that one into her glove, and the Boone squad has the leadoff player retired. And that has been the case for 4 of the 5 innings. Kennedy Lewis has the only leadoff hit for Boone. That was to start the second. She got as far as third and then was out on a force out at home. The pitch drilled, and giving it a good leap there was the sophomore Jenna Young. IGHSAU will stop at first, and I believe we will have an IMT insurance substitution as the catcher will be courtesy ran for, with Audrey Castle coming in to replace her once again, and that is indeed the case. Remember that all changes in today's game are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Winterset in their white jerseys with black numerals outlined in gold. Winterset written across the chest in the same black outlined in gold. Black pants, white socks, and they are the home team as they are the 1 seed. Boone, the 5 seed. So Boone will not get an opportunity to be the home team in this tournament if they advance, as this is smoked to left center field, and it is a stand-up double for Emma Dighton. And that's one of the reasons that they elected to intentionally walk her back in the first. That's an extra base hit, and extra base hits in today's game are brought to you by Kruger Seeds, your local seeds dealer. Visit KrugerSeed.com today. That's Kruger, KrugerSeed.com. Lannis Salverson comes up in a critical moment of the game. She's got Victoria Lewis to follow her, and she will call for time and talk things over with her third base coach. Taking the opportunity, Bridget Stover giving directions to the infield. For Winterset, they're at a critical juncture of this game. They have a 1-0 lead, and 3 of the 4 of the 5 innings, they have had multiple players on, including the bases loaded in the second. And we're having a conversation with the umpires. They're jumping on their walkie-talkie, and I'll be honest, I'm not on. Yep, it looks like they are calling for a groundskeeper, as out in left field we had a banner that came down, so a lot less exciting and controversial than maybe some of the other things we have seen throughout the 2021 Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament. But getting back to that thought, This is a critical juncture for the Winterset Huskies. They find themselves once again with multiple runners in scoring position and multiple runners on the base paths. There's just one out in the inning. They've got runners at second and third, and the heart of the order due up. Dighton was the third batter, so that means that Lena Salverson coming up to the plate next, who was ready to bat but will be slowed down by this, the senior, and a third baseman. If Winterset can get out of this jam, I can't imagine how deflating it would be for the Boone Toreadors. Obviously, it's a great opportunity here for Boone, but it's high risk, high reward. Quite honestly, if Boone had gone down 1-2-3, then it would feel like, all right, well, we'll get him in the 6th. We'll get him in the 7th. We'll find a way to manufacture at least a run, if not multiple. But if Winterset can get out of this jam, then at some point, when does the Boone squad start to feel like maybe this just isn't our day? It's not breaking our way, because how many times have we had these opportunities to get at least at a bare minimum a run, and they're not able to get it? So it's high risk, high reward. I spend a lot of time calling hockey games, and I feel the same can be said about power plays. Obviously, you'd rather be the team on the power play than the shorthanded team. But if you're the shorthanded team and kill it off without surrendering a goal, it can be a huge momentum boost. That is exactly where this Winterset squad finds himself. Really, in this situation, runners at second and third with just one out. They're shorthanded, but they need the players to stick together, find a way out of this jam. And if they can keep it a 1-0 game going into the bottom of the 5th, obviously that's best case scenario. I think right now, if you're Winterset, you might be willing to trade. You know what? If we can go in tied at 1 with the hole that we have dug ourselves, and with Salverson and Lewis due up next, that might be a trade. Obviously, they can't make that deal, but that might be a trade that they would be willing to surrender. There's a bunt, and the first baseman will throw home. Not in time! An RBI laid down by Salverson. She got enough of it, and the first baseman had to spin, and coming across the score is Audrey Castle running for Heightshoe. Emma Dighton, meanwhile, there was no chance that they were going to go after her. It was either going to be a play at home or a play to first, and Dighton is able to come in uncontested at third. Here's Victoria Lewis. She'll pop one up, but this won't be deep enough to advance the runner from third or first. And so Lewis goes down on the first pitch of her at bat. Jenna Young, the sophomore, comes up with a big second out. Meanwhile, Kennedy Lewis now at the plate. I would assume, well, I shouldn't assume anything. I was going to say I would assume she's related to Victoria Lewis, a senior and a junior, but a common enough last name. We'll hold that thought for later. 0-1 the count, 2 outs. And clipping the inside corner is Thea Banning, the junior, trying to keep it a 1-1 score. 0-2, 2 outs, 2 on. Upstairs is the pitch, and Stover quickly out in front of the plate, keeping an eye on the base runner. That is Salverson. There's a 1-2 pitch, hit into left center field. That'll drop in for an RBI single. Dighton touches all 4. Salverson to second. Kennedy Lewis with the RBI knock. And the Boone Toreadors have flipped the script. They went into the 5th inning trailing 1-0. They now have their first lead of the evening, 2-1. Alex McDonough is 0 for 1 in the contest. She walked back in the 2nd and then was forced out as she was headed to 3rd. She also popped out to the first baseman. And she finds herself in a situation with 2 on, 2 out. Banning comes home but misses inside. It'll even up the count at 1-1. Boone has registered 3 hits in the inning. And there's a strike called. One and 2 the count, and a strike away from getting out of the inning, and it is fouled down the right field side. So McDonough, who the last time the first baseman for the Huskies came up, well, actually the last time McDonough came up, she flew out to the first baseman. In there, hitting one in the same neighborhood, but with a little bit more velocity. There's one hit to the second baseman. Will just take care of it herself. Applegate says, no worry about a toss. I'll hold on to it. But the Boone Toreadors get 1 run on 3 hits. They leave 2. 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 2. And 2 runs on 7 hits. They've left 8 in the game. We'll be back in the bottom of the 5th with Boone on top 2-1. You are watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything
Dental insurance costs a fortune, and it covers nothing.
don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Welcome back here with you live to the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Bottom of the 5th, it's an 0-1 count. Winterset for the first time in the game trails as this is slapped to the second baseman. A quick throw and missing, and so this will allow an opportunity for Young to turn the error into a lead-off play where she gets to second. It will be scored as the second error for Boone, and Young quickly aware of the situation as that Aaron Aids toss missed the glove of McDonough, and now Young gets into scoring position with Riley Kios at the dish. Kios is a junior. She'll lay down a bunt, but it is foul as it rolls up the third base line. Ava Loudon, the first baseman, is the other player that, unless we have an IMT insurance substitution, we know will come to the plate. And Kios now with another opportunity, left-handed batter, lays down a bunt, and again got a little bit further down the line, but again foul. So now an interesting decision here if you are Winterset. Do you elect to have your second hitter in the lineup bunt with 2 strikes, knowing that if it goes foul, it's a strikeout? There's a swing, and this will advance the runner, and there's nobody at first. Then there's a delay, and they get the run home. What a heads-up play by Jenna Young. First, as it's hit over to the first baseman, she looks to see if there was anybody there and is a little bit frustrated, understandably so. But you've got to be aware of the situation, and Jenna Young was running the whole way. That was a really well-played bunt because it forced the fielder to not get the ball into her glove until Young had not only reached third, but like I said, she starts to round and immediately sees there was confusion and maybe even a little bit of aggravation there with the infielder saying, if I hit the ball, who should have had first? And Jenna Young jumps on the opportunity. And quickly, Winterset ties the game up with an unearned run. There was a foul attempt, but because it didn't go up, it's considered just the same as a foul tipped swing into the glove of catcher. This one will get away from IGHSAU. And taking a big turn there was IGHSAU. So for IGHSAU, they'll actually give her credit for a infield single, simply because when she hit it, there wasn't anything that the first baseman could do. Not considered an error. There have been 2 errors called on Boone. That's how IGHSAU reached safely in the second. That's how Young reached and then just scored here in the bottom half of the 5th. And we're deadlocked at 2, but the Huskies look for more. This is poked down the third base side and foul. I should point out that it's the first time in the game that Winterset has trailed, and that lead didn't last long, obviously. Just 2 batters. But this Winterset crowd, and particularly the student section, give them credit, as they were not deterred at all, trailing 2-1 going into the bottom of the 5th. They had faith their team would come back. This is popped up to the second baseman. Underneath it is Erin Aids, and she will register out number 1 of the bottom half of the 5th. Bridget Stover will come up next. Stover looking for her first hit in this semifinal matchup. The junior catcher wears 22, batting .392 prior to action on Monday. Or I suppose for the players here in Class 4A on Tuesday. Takes a look at a strike at the knees. Stover is tall, but not quite tall enough to have that one duck out of the strike zone. 1-1 the count. And a foul. So as IGHSAU hustles down to third, she will scamper back to second. That one was outside of the zone, but Dighton made it look good, and Stover fouled it away. Dighton rocks, winds, delivers. Here's struck up to the shortstop, Aids. Fires over to the glove, and in for out number 2. So what you can say for Stover is she does advance the runner, but it's the second out of the inning, and now Bailey Acton, the sophomore, 0 for 2 in the game. Right-handed batter, Dighton delivers, it's popped up, the catcher is underneath it, and makes the catch. She is nicked by the runner, but the home plate umpire says, were it not for that contact, that would have been out number 3, and it is indeed still. So after 5, we are deadlocked at 2. The Winterset Huskies score 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 1. They've scored 2 runs on 4 hits and left 6 in the game. We'll be back with the 6th inning. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Des Moines, the yeses are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
Nothing feels quite as free as being out here.
Except this free soda.
Where'd you get free soda?
At Casey's, you can win all kinds of free stuff.
I love free.
Then you'll love this. Bought this jerky, won this free donut.
I love donuts.
And these chips can win me the big one.
What?
A free concert from country music superstar Lee Brice.
I love free Lee Brice.
With Casey's Summer of Freedom sweepstakes, the more you buy, the more you can win, including a free Lee Brice concert for your town.
Free Lee!
No.
Welcome back here with you live at the Iowa Central Field at Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge, Iowa, on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy. Top of the 6th inning, and the number 5 seed in Class 4A Boone Toreadors and the number 1 seed Winterset Huskies are deadlocked at 2 runs apiece. This is poked down the right field line and will hit off the top of the fencing, but obviously no real opportunity for Avery Darling, the sophomore, to make a play on that one. What is at stake in this game is a trip to the championship, as these two teams playing in the first of the Class 4A semifinal games. Western Dubuque and ADM will get underway, but they'll be behind as this game is running late. That is popped up to the shortstop, and a quick out there as Jenna Young comes up with the out on Aaron Aids. Natalie Danner comes up to bat. Western Dubuque and ADM were slated to get first pitch underway 10 minutes from now. That's not happening, folks, as this one is fouled back and right to us here on press row. Giving it a ride is Danner. For a low-scoring game, 2-2 through 5 innings completed, you'd expect more strikeouts, but we've had 3 by Thea Banning. Emily Dighton has struck out just 1, but again, in the Class 4A semifinal, number 1, these teams relying heavily on defense, and they've seen some fantastic plays, particularly from the left side of the infield from both sides. Although, don't really want to start spreading the love around too much, because then inevitably I'm going to forget somebody. How about third baseman Bailey Acton? She leaps for that one and comes up with the out, and it's a vital one as the top of the order for the Toreadors comes up for the for the 4th time in the game. And if you're going to face Emily Aids in the 6th inning, and mathematically you had to, you want to do it with the bases loaded and 2 out, so it's tougher for the Toreadors to start something here. Inside, brushing off Aids, is Banning. Banning, a junior. Emily Aids is a freshman, and she takes a look at another one outside the zone. 2-0 the count. The senior catcher, Heitschu, is due up next if the inning can be extended by Aids. And there's a called strike on 3-0 as Emily was taking the entire way. And I apologize, Emily's a senior. It's her younger sister that's a freshman. Slapped at and picked up by Applegate. She throws her body into that one, and because she's the second baseman, is rewarded by not having as far of a throw to make to register the out. 3 up, 3 down, and through 6 innings, Boone has 2 runs on 7 hits. They've stranded 8. We'll be back with the home half of the 6th inning. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back here with you live at the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, as we start the bottom half of the 6th inning. A 1-0 count as Emily Dighton, the senior on the mound, misses on the, or I should say on the rubber, misses on the first offering, comes upstairs with it, and it's a 2-0 count. That will get the Winterset squad fired up. They'll be even more fired up as Zoe IGHSAU, the catcher, heads out to have a quick chat with her ace. And I can tell you this, IGHSAU is well aware that any sign of perhaps concern will fire up the Winterset squad. There's a strike, and she's not too concerned about it. She's more concerned with Dighton winding and delivering, and that's exactly what she did there. 2-1 the count. Grounded to the first baseman, and she will take her time. Alex McDonough, the senior, steps on the bag for out number 1. So that is a 3 unassisted. And Natalie Drake, the designated player, will come up to bat. Natalie with a single. She is 1 for 2 in the game. And she has scored one of the 2 runs for Winterset. The initial run, second one was scored by Jenna Young. Drake, a left-handed batter, or at least swings left-handed. Don't know if she throws or throws right or left-handed, as she is the designated player, and unless there's an IMT substitution, we won't see her with defensive responsibilities out in the field. 3-0 the count, so I would imagine Drake has got the take the entire way signal, but we'll see. She's perhaps got something up her sleeve. There's ball 4, high, and the go-ahead run going into the pivotal 7th inning is on the pond. Avery Darling, the right fielder, will come up to bat. She, too, is a left-handed batter. Speaking of IMT INS, they sponsor all of our substitutions. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. And 28, Jaya Kleemeyer is now on the base paths for Drake. A strike to Darling. Darling will be followed by Banning, unless the Toreadors can figure out a way to get Darling and Kleemeyer out. Here's poked into left field. Will it drop in? No. It is caught by the left fielder, Victoria Lewis. The senior gets underneath it for out number 2. Banning, another left-handed swinging player for the Huskies. They would love an opportunity to try to keep an inning going, as this is fouled harshly back into the backstop. But if she's not able to keep the inning going, I guess the solace you take for Winterset is that the Huskies would come up in the bottom of the 7th with the top of their order. They'd love, however, to get a run here, put up a 0 at the top half of the 7th, and not have to deal with the bottom of the inning. Off the dish, so it is a count of 1-1. 2 outs with Jenna Young the shortstop in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss. And Banning finds herself down in a pitcher's count, 1-2. For what it is worth, Boone will come up with Zoe IGHSAU, Emma Dighton, and Lena Solverson due up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mentioned earlier, there have not been a lot of strikeouts. That's just the second thrown by Dighton, but it comes in a big moment. No. I apologize. We have the count wrong officially on the scoreboard. That's just a 2-2 count. So Dighton gets back in the circle, on the rubber, kicks, winds, and this is poked into left field, and it's a running shoestring catch made by Victoria Lewis. And defensively, she is giving herself some consideration for the Casey's player of the game. No runs on no hits, 1 left on. For the game, Winterset has 2 runs on 4 hits. They have stranded 7. We will come back for the decisive 7th inning. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
And welcome back here with you live in the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Top of the 7th, we've missed just 1 pitch, but it was the first pitch that IGHSAU hit, and it was a slow bleeder up the second base side of second. And by the time the Winterset Husky second baseman Neela Applegate was able to fall on it, she's an 8th grader, was able to stop it from rolling into the outfield, but couldn't prevent it from advancing. Here's Emma Dighton. The senior is 1 for 2. She has popped up to the first baseman. That was back in the 3rd. She was intentionally walked in the 1st and got no further than first. But in the 5th, she hit a big double that advanced IGHSAU to 3rd. Eventually, both of them would come around thanks to a Solverson fielder's choice and a Kennedy Lewis single. This is hit well to right field. It's off the top of the fence, and she will pause for a moment but still get to second, as needing to hold up was IGHSAU to make sure it wasn't caught. So eerily, I was about to say, we find ourselves in a possible position for Dighton to do the exact same thing. In both the 5th and the 7th, with IGHSAU at first, Dighton hits a double and puts herself in scoring position as well. Dighton at second, IGHSAU at first, and here comes Lena Solverson. There's a low pitch knocked down by the catcher, and as soon as she saw that she had it still in front of her, Bridget Stover then immediately glared down the third base line to IGHSAU to make sure she wasn't going anywhere. Low and held onto. I had to be sure there. As for Boone, it's Zoe IGHSAU the catcher at third. That's fouled back. The reason I bring that up is the last couple of times she was on base, Audrey Castle was a courtesy runner for her. But in this situation, with nobody out, Boone is less worried about her getting equipped and more just making sure they get a run here. Off the edge as Stover, the junior, tries desperately to frame that one, but it was a ball and seen well by Stan Schmidt, our home plate umpire. This one's fouled back and will draw the count full. At 3-1, if there's one you think could possibly be called a ball, sometimes if it's not your pitch, you can let it go. Solverson said, if I watch that one, it's going to be 3-2. Might as well give it a rip. Nobody out, 2 on. Poked out to right field. Will it be deep enough? And it may drop in. It does! That will score at least one. They will have a throw at third. Giving herself up with the double was Solverson. But it scores 2, and she knocks in both IGHSAU and Emma Dighton. So Lena Solverson has herself 3 RBI. She's knocked in IGHSAU twice and Dighton. Now there's a lot of discussion on press row as to whether or not there would have been an out potentially at home, and I'll be honest, the way Dighton rounded second, now she needed to hold up because she was looking to tag up. There's one hit and caught by the second baseman for the second out of the inning. Whew. But I think Dighton would have come in. It's a situation for a parallel universe to know the answer to. All we know is that Boone has a 2-run lead thanks to a double by Solverson, who then either expected the throw to go home, thought she could get third, or may have alertly given herself up and said, hey, here I am sitting between second and third. You can have me, but it comes at a cost, and that is you need to give us that insurance run. As soon as that one dropped in, there was no chance that IGHSAU from third wasn't going to score, but Dighton was the tricky one. And it's dropped by the third baseman, but still fires in time. And Bailey Acton goes with plan B and comes up with the third out. However, the Boone Toreadors have the largest lead of the game for either side going into the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
That guides me home. I got it. You're my
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
Welcome back here with you live at the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. We get ready for the bottom half of the 7th inning. Winterset took a 1-0 lead back in the 2nd inning. The Boone squad countered with 2 in the 5th. This is popped up to the shortstop, and it is squeezed by Emily Aids for out number 1 on Young. Boone scored 2 in the 5th, but Winterset got 1 in the 5th, and quickly it was 2-2. Now Boone leads 4-2 thanks to 2 scored in the 7th. There's a ball hit, diving, and it's an out. She throws just to make sure, but the third base umpire was there, and that was a catch. I know that it might seem like she doesn't think it was, but she just wanted to be sure that it was seen by the official, and quickly 2 out. And fans, our Casey's Casey's General Stores is proud to sponsor the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Today's player of the game, that is number 16, senior Emily Dighton, on the mound for the Toreadors, as she gets one in the dirt for ball 1. Casey's is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on our local teams and fans, making sure there's fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Sign up for new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's Cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools. Chopped to Dighton. She's got an easy play, and that will do it. The Boone Toreadors come back with 2 in the top half of the 7th inning, and they are victorious over the number 1 seed in Class 4A, the Winterset Huskies. It's a 3-1 putout, and how fitting that our Casey's player of the game gets the last out. She had in the game, she held the Winterset Huskies to just 4 hits through 7 complete, giving up 2 runs, and then got it done at the dish. She was intentionally walked in the first, not anything else she could have done in the first, and she flew out to the first baseman in the third. But then she hit 2 doubles in her last 2 appearances in the 5th and the 7th. Now, neither one scored a run, but both times it moved Zoe IGHSAU over to third, her to second, and both times those runners came across. So she didn't get an RBI, but scored 2 of the 4 and contributed to all 4 runs being scored. Obviously, IGHSAU, the catcher, and Lena Salverson with 3 RBI in the game, other great considerations, but it ends up being Emma Dighton getting it done on the rubber, getting it done from the batter's box, and there at the end, getting it done out in the field as she registers the final out. A fantastic finish to this one, and we expect that the 2-3 matchup between Western Dubuque and ADM here in the Class 4A will be just as good of a final, as Boone, the 5 seed, upsets Carlisle, and then an even bigger upset knocks off the number 1 Winterset Huskies. My name is Eric Zamora, bringing you the play-by-play of this one, and it was a beauty. Dave Mabel, our engineer and producer of today's contest, Hannah Allen, our camera operator, and we can't thank you enough for tuning in. Again, one final time, a final in Class 4A state semifinals. Boone is on to the championship to take on either Western Dubuque or ADM. They knock off the 1 seed Winterset by a final score of 4-2. Thanks for tuning in to the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.